Well, our season doesn't come down to this game. It certainly feels like it does. After drawing with Ghent, we beat Pandev 2-0, we beat Renova 4-0, we beat Tickfest 3-0. Those were the good things. The bad things were we're picking up all these niggling injuries, which isn't anything new. Todorov's out today with a bruised shin. Zukrezi is out with a broken ankle. He's gone for the rest of the season. I suspect they're going to recall him. I'm gonna have to find a replacement for him in the transfer window. Um, he's been doing really well for us. I don't think he got nearly as many games as I wanted him to have, but 8 starts, 3 off the bench. He played all over, which is one of the big reasons I brought him in. Yeah, it was unexpected. Luckily, winger's a position I'm actually moderately deep in, so while losing him hurts, it's not a huge deal, unless you have like Noveski and Todorov out. So we'll get back to here. Oh, I need to look at this real quick. So this is what we need. We need Man United, probably their B squad, because you know they're going to rest their starters, to beat up on Ghent. We need to beat Salzburg. That's the only way we're going to qualify. A draw is not going to help us. We needed a win against Ghent in order to have any chance of qualifying. Now we're relying on help. And the last time I was relying on someone to help us was the freaking Wolfsburg game against Kukurici. Wolfsburg played like all their under 16s, it seemed, and Kukurici won 1-0. So we got Grozdanowski in goal, Tasevsky, Stamkov, Bozanovsky, and Jankelov as the defensive back four. Murati and Davidovsky as the midfielders. Abaz and Demi as the attacking mids. Tusha and Basevsky up top as the strikers. I am not a huge fan, especially when Bozanovsky is healthy. We're going to switch him and Georgie. Okay. Good match. Good match. That's all we're looking for. We're balanced at the moment, depending on how the match is going and how we're doing on shots and whatnot. I may actually move that up to positive, which I am going to do. We're about a half hour in. We're going to go to positive. We're going to shout some encouragement at the squad. I need to change this to general body language. Knocked away. Abaz is going to run it down. I think it's interesting I do that and we get a highlight. Murati. Back to Bozanovsky. Back to Murati. He's double teamed. I don't know why. Davidovsky. Was it Bozanovsky? Over to Jankelov. Jankelov gets it to Demi. Demi on the right side. Crosses it in. Basevsky's there, but he heads it over the crossbar. It's a good effort. Eunice and Garcia from a free kick. They do a little trickery. Bashev on the baseline. Oh, Grozdanowski, a very nice save on Gergi. Gergi? It's probably pronounced George for all I know. Tusha knocks the ball away. And of course, Basevsky is lackadaisical getting to it. Kovacevic got to it, but the highlight ended. And we go into the half with a 0-0 draw. Davidovsky is demotivated. I'm not quite sure why. We are going to go to the attack. Pushed up. Yep. Keep seeing all these comments about how magnificently we're doing, but there's been no highlights until now. Tasevsky to a Boz. Boz back to Murati. Murati over to Tasevsky. Tasevsky to Murati. Murati. Oh, gives the ball away. Grozdanowski's going to come out. Hopefully he doesn't mishandle it. He just bombs it forward. Basevsky, nice first touch. Tusha to Abaz. Abaz feeds Basevsky, and he scores. I'm going to go back down to positive here, I think. It was a nice pass. Basevsky did really well to run up on it and beat the keeper to it. Thought the keeper may have tried going for the foul by diving on it or something. A little bit past 63 minutes in. I have to take Murati off. Bring on Garcia. I've got a ring on Stamkos for Bosnovsky. Mike is, yeah, he's injured as well. I'm going to have to pull him off for Manev. You know, my 16-year-old Brazilian international, or he's not an international. I don't think he is. Probably will be fairly soon. Drop back to balanced here. The other game we're looking at is not being played today. Stamkos, back to Grosdonowski. Out to Tisevsky. Tisevsky to Gabriel. Back to Tisevsky. Bad pass. Mora up to Kovacic, who got by the defenders. Sends it in. Davidovsky heads over the crossbar. And we're out. Because of a stupid cross the field pass, we're out. We had them. We absolutely had them. And United beat up on Ghent. And they get a frickin' 88th minute Kovacic. Penalty. Goal because Tisevsky thought it would be a good idea to loft the ball freaking halfway across the field into a crowd. It's times like these I am not a fan of my team. Don't get me wrong, I love them, but I'm certainly not in like with them right now. We got Pabeda coming up in a week, and then we'll take a look at the rest of the season. I mean, there's nothing really left to play. We're playing for first in the league. There's no European ball to play for. And currently in the league, we're 7 points on top. And that's with 2 games in hand. So, I don't know. We'll be back with Pabeda in just a bit. We did get a youth intake preview. It was very, very good, which means I doubt there's any Carloses among it, but I will settle for a few people like Ilievsky or Tisevsky. Go through this real quick. Let's see. Tusha could use a rest. What do we got going on here? Told Pisevsky I would give him a rest, so we're going to start Alexovsky up top. I'm going to start Spasov in goal. I'm going to put Charlavas in for Grosdonowski, and I bet my under-18s play today, which is why I don't see Carlos. Which reminds me. Charlavas is there. Why wasn't Carlos? Because he's on vacation. I can live with that. Half hour in, no highlights so far. Here we go. Manev. Todorov over to Stamkos. He feeds Murati. Murati up into space. Nevesky got by the defenders. Kotevsky, a very nice save. And Jokic just bombs it out of bounds. Corner, oh, throw in. Okay, Murati back and forth. Stamkos ends up with it. Gets it back to Murati. Todorov, corner of the box. Stamkos to Murati. Murati takes a shot, bounces off the wall. Bozanovsky's there, and he heads it in from distance. His first goal of the season. It was a good 12-yard header. Nice effort by the beta keeper, though. He got back to his feet pretty darn quick. That is the half. We are 1-0 up thanks to a Bozanovsky header. Wow, we're 60 minutes in. There's been no highlights this half either. So I think what we're going to do, we're going to move Bozanovsky over to Markovsky. We're going to bring Tasevsky on. We're going to get Manev off and bring on Charlabus. Tasevsky on the throne. Alexovsky. Back to Tasevsky. Tasevsky holds it up, gets it back to Bozanovsky. Bozanovsky drops it off to Todorov. Todorov over to Charlabus. Charlabus all the way back to Spasov. He gets it out to Tasevsky. Tasevsky to Pandev. Pandev distance to Davidovsky, and he pushes it just wide right. Tasevsky, nice first touch. Gets it to Bozanovsky. Up to Pandev. Pandev pushing forward. Alexovsky. Pandev. Davidovsky. Murati. Stamkov. And he pushes it just wide right. Now we got 10 minutes left. Davidovsky can be fine. Pandev loses the header, but the ball goes to Tasevsky. Pandev. Davidovsky. To Alexovsky. He gets to Novoselsky, and he scores. Puts it away nicely, rounding the keeper. Text from Household 6 here. Okay. So we watched the review. That's some very nice ball movement. Very good move by Novoselsky to go around the keeper. Tasevsky to Pandev on the throw, and he gets over to Alexovsky. He tries getting Novoselsky, but it's knocked away. Charlabus should run this down. Takes his time, dwelling on the ball. Baby steps forward. Long kick. Novoselsky. Oh, he hits the post. Volevsky clears it. Very nice clearance from the Pobeda defender. And Pandev with the header right before the 90-minute mark. 88th minute. And we come away with a 3-0 win. Bozanovsky was stellar. And Murati's out for a week. We tick fast in the cup draw. Breeze for the press conference here. Okay. What are we looking at? As we save the game. Tickfest in March? So we don't have any European football. Yeah, you know, it's going to be one of those seasons. We've really got nothing to play for in this part here. The youth intake is going to be sometime in March. So what we'll do is we'll do a review of the transfer window. We'll do the youth intake. We'll do the cup semifinal. And assuming we get past that, we'll skip to the final in the end. It's a problem with being in a league like this where you're just dominating everybody. It's kind of hard to stay engaged once you're out of the big competitions. I mean, we've still got 2 games in hand. We're 7 points ahead of Rabbit Nicky, for crying out loud. So, you know, unless we have an absolute collapse, which is entirely possible, then it just doesn't make sense to play any league games unless they mean something. And the only things that mean something at the moment are the cup games. So that's what we're going to do. So I am still upset at this result. I knew the instant I saw Tasevsky rear his leg back, he was going to try and kick it into that crowd, and they were going to score off of it. And they did. We had qualifications in our hands, and we threw it away. And that hurts. That really hurts. So it's not the first time it's happened. But again, we're reaching that stage where, You know, we're holding teams like Ghent to draws. We're doing well against RB Salzburg. We held them to a draw there, and we held them to a draw up here as well. You know, so we're getting there. It's just the journey's a little bit more difficult, I imagine, and the scenery's not as great. I'm saying. So that said, if you did like what you saw and heard this episode, please like, subscribe to the channel for more content. Questions, criticism, comments, leave those down below. I'll answer those as fast as I can. My name is FM22. I thank you for watching.